Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joe Petrie coming to you live here on my Facebook page. Let me just do one more thing here as I get this going. Just playing around. Not really. Today's live video, I want to talk to you about something I've been struggling with my health fitness. I've been running a business. I'm going to you live here on Instagram over here. First time trying to do multiple things. And I'm also streaming to multiple places: Facebook personal page, business page, YouTube. Exciting. If you can hear me, say hi. I'm just going through real quick, checking out, making sure I'm in places. I am in places. Great. Making sure audio is good. You can hear me. Excellent. So yeah, if you follow my journey at all, whatever, if I've been quiet, I haven't posted a whole bunch, but I was just in Baltimore not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and a lot of hate using the word. There's so many like words that I hate using because I feel like if you use something so much, they lose their meaning. Like aha, aha moment, empower, all these but like I've been struggling. I've been a successful network marketing coach, fitness coach, business coach, but over the last couple years, I've struggled with consistency. And so I went to this event in Baltimore. It's called the Landmark Forum, and helped me realize the stories I've been telling myself. And this happens in every aspect of my life, from my marriage to my relationship with my kids, to relationships with my team, to my customers, everything. And I can call it negative self-talk, but I've been feeding these stories of things that happened to me in the past, but I continue to relive these stories in my present, which affect my future. Does that make sense? And in today's Facebook Live, I'm going to talk specifically about my health, my weight, and my fitness, and how the stories that have happened to me are that have continued to affect my consistency with staying fit, leading others, helping others, and just being an example, right? And offering inspiration to others who want to make some type of difference in their life. So over the weekend, I was called Basement Joe because I tend to hide in the basement. I work in the basement. I would say I'd work, but I was hiding. I was hiding from failures. I was hiding from, So let's talk specifically about fitness. I started with a health and fitness company, an in-home fitness product, had tremendous results. Again, the best shape of my life, better than I ever was as a college athlete. I played lacrosse in college. Get overweight, super big after college, after I got out into the real world. Then, working out at home, creating an online support group helped me to achieve those results. Helped me so much to where I wanted to inspire others. And I was a pharmaceutical rep at the time. I got laid off multiple times, went back to school again for a brand new degree in physical education because I wanted to help inspire and train and teach other kids and how to live a healthy, fulfilling life. And I felt like, physical education could do that, as well as provide me a stable income and secure jobs because of unions here in New York, yada, yada, yada. I'm going back to school. I was at my peak physical health. I was around 185, probably about 8% body fat. And I was doing a weightlifting class because it was one of the core classes you had to take. And I ruptured my pec tendon, pop, 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 right off my arm. And I just thought everything I built was over. Long story short, I recovered from that injury. I recovered from that. But it's always, that story going through my head about, well, I didn't have to do it. I didn't do it. And then, fast forward years later to where I'm married. I have my first child, spinal fusion, herniated disc. And I was just starting to make progress. It felt like any time that and let me know if this has happened to you. Anytime you make some type of commitment to yourself, to your health, to your wellness, to your weight loss, to your fitness, something always seems to happen. Whether it's an injury, for me, it was 2 major injuries. But then even after your injuries, when you start coming back, something happens, right? And then these stories or just start filtering in your brain where it's just like, I suck, I can't believe I let myself go. I can't, especially where you were once, quote unquote, at your peak, maybe, to where you're now not at your peak. It's like, man, before I got hurt, before I did this, I was doing 20, 30, 40 push-ups, 10, 12, 15 unassisted pull-ups. Now I can't even do 2. And then that voice and those stories are contemplating, always constantly going in your head. And then you're just like, oh, F it. What's the point? Why am I doing this? There's no point in me in this struggle. There's no point in doing this because it's just something else is going to happen. And that's where I've been living my life. That's where I've been living my health. That's where I've been living my fitness. Any kind of commitment that I made, something would happen. And then I would beat myself up over that thing happening. And I wish I could get more specific. I should have probably journaled or something about, what these things that happen to us. But they all happen to us. But they happen to us in different forms. For me, it was injuries. For me, it was having kids, not physically, my wife, but having that family. For me, it was just sneaking, like just a fight with my wife would derail my nutrition easily. Because it would just be like, I'm a bad husband. I'm a bad dad. I suck. I can't. All these things that were told to me at a young age that really weren't that big of a deal that happened. But, oh, well, that doesn't define who I am. And I would just be like, forget it. And go eat like 10 fruit snacks of my kids. Eat their bag of goldfish at night. And all of these things that I know I shouldn't be doing, were happening to me. And if that's happened to you, let me know. Say hi, drop a comment, say me too, or just if you've gone through any of that. That's where I've been living this life of just always trying to get back to where I was instead of being present to where I am now, and then creating a future for myself. And Landmark Formed helped me do that in many ways. Helped me do that with my business, helped me do that with my relationship with my wife and my kids. It's helping me do that with my immediate family, and it's helping me do that with my nutrition and my health. I'm not going anything crazy, but there's a lot of things that it helped me realize that I was doing. One, it helped me realize that I was stuck in the past, that and so like, for example, I was doing this one home workout program, and I would create these excuses and these stories and these reasons. It's too long. It's an hour. It's too hard. It reminds me of my failures. It reminds me where I used to be, and my failure of how much I've let myself go since then, right? And we don't want to face that, but we're not facing that. We're just hiding from the fact that that was then and this is now, and stop living in the then. Stop trying to recreate the then and what can you do now. So there's just so much. And I'm trying to stay focused here as to what I want to get accomplished on this live video. But really the big aha from the weekend was I have been living without integrity. I have not been honoring my word because, again, those stories, well, it's like I've derailed myself in the past. Well, here it is again. Joe's a failure. Joe sucks. Joe can't do anything. Might as well just go eat nachos and pizza and all those things that are awesome, but they weren't in alignment with who I wanted to be and who I am. That's more importantly of who I am. And it's fine if you choose those things. It's fine that's you, right? I just kept trying to live in something that I wasn't me. And I'm not perfect. I love nachos. I love pizza. But the reason I was eating those weren't because they were just more of just a self-destructive. So with that said, I kind of wanted, like Tony Horton, who's been a good fitness mentor of mine, virtual fitness mentor of mine. I got to meet him and know him over the years. He posted something on Instagram, and I agree with everything he says. But I wanted to add one thing. So I want to share with you guys that post right now. And if you're here on Instagram, you're not going to see it, but you can go to his Tony S. Horton for Tony Horton. Yeah. And get his verified check mark. But this was his post today. He goes, do you want to finally figure out how to get in ridiculous shape? And I agree, for the most part, his 4 points. I'm going to add that last one at the end. But number 1, organize. Clear the deck of all the crap in your life that gets in your way. That's sometimes easier said than done because there are things that come up. It's just like there are reasons, excuses, justifications, right? And I think number one is going to tie into my last point very well. So we'll circle back to getting into number one a little bit more. Number two, prioritize. A healthy diet and regular exercise has to move to the top of your list, and you won't have a chance. So all of this is going to tie into my last point. Number three, write down your goals with pen and paper. Write down what you want and tape it to the back and the front of your door. Number four, set deadlines. Give yourself a reasonable period of time to achieve your goals, but write the date down at the bottom of your goals. So these are all really, really good points that Tony makes. You know, Tony is a master. Tony knows his stuff. He knows how to get people in shape. He knows how to help people. And here's the thing that's missing, the glue that's missing that I think myself and many other people have been missing when it comes to achieving your health, wellness, and fitness goals, right? That's your integrity. It's your integrity. It's honoring what you've set out for yourself, honoring the words that you've put out of your mouth. And that's where I have fallen short immensely with my team, with my customers, with my wife, with my own body, with my own health, right? Where I've just allowed stories to where when I've organized, because you can do all these things. You can organize, you can prioritize, you can write down your goals, you can set deadlines. You can also piss off your goals. Flip off your priorities. So number five is honor all of these things and hold that commitment true. And what used to stop me from doing this, there's so many stories and so many things and excuses and reasons and justifications as to why I allowed myself to just eat at night. And this past winter, I got up to the heaviest I've ever got to, which is 235 pounds, because I just stopped caring. I didn't care. Who cares? And if you've been there, I get where you're at. It sucks. It's lonely. It's depressing. I don't want to get off on a depressant rant here, but it's no fun. It's no fun. It's very, very dark, lonely place to live. When you're, quote, what I would call fat clothes, my fat clothes, right, would be my skinny clothes because they were starting to get tight, no longer fit. It's a bad place. It was, and so it's taken me a long time to kind of get to some realizations and put the past in the past and put in the now, right? And so yesterday I did a Facebook story, did an Instagram story that just shared, I'm just going all in. I'm just making that commitment. I'm honoring my word. And since I got back from Baltimore, it hasn't even fazed me. You know, last night was probably the first night where I was like, I'm really hungry. I need to eat something. This was at nighttime. But I was always just looking for an excuse to break my diet, looking for an excuse to not do my workout, always just procrastinating with something that would keep me from achieving what it was that I had set out for myself on that day. And so Tony's absolutely right when it comes to organizing. Clear the deck of all the crap in your life that gets in your way. What are those things that's getting in your way? For me, it's been my stories. It's been every story in the book from, pec major tendon rupture. How many years ago was that now? Almost probably 9 years ago, to a spinal fusion of the C6, C7, to having kids, to getting married, to just not caring, to I suck and I can't and what's the point? I used to be this, but now I'm 38, going to be 39 in 2 weeks. I'll be 39 in 2 weeks. Holy crap. Be 39 in 2 weeks. What's the point? Maybe I'll just be that. It scares me to say certain things because I don't want to offend anybody. But these are the thoughts that I'm going through my head, so I'm not going to apologize for if someone gets offended by what I'm saying. But I'm just going to be that fat dad who just doesn't care, who'll wear a shirt all day long and, and just not care. And if that's you, that's great. But for me, it was always just those things. And Landmark Forum in Baltimore really helped me just acknowledge what the past was, acknowledge those stories are just stories, and be me in the now, and so I can create invent the possibility of a future. And the possibility that I'm inventing for myself, and I want to invite you to invent this also with me, is a possibility that we are healthy, we're fit, where we don't allow the past to dictate our future, that we acknowledge for what it is, and that we honor our word and we live our life with integrity. So I'm creating this. I'm putting the invitation out. If you want to join me on this, I'm a weekend. It doesn't matter when you want to start, what you want to do. If you're looking for health and fitness recommendations, let me know. But what I will be doing to just share with you guys my journey is, obviously I'll be sharing progress pictures. I won't be doing a lot of sweaty selfies because I don't find there's any value in that. But I will also be at the end of the week, I don't know what day yet, but I will be sharing my meals, what I've been eating, and it's nothing crazy. It's just everything has just shifted. It just shifted. Because it's just I remember that, like, one of my mentor who kind of kept pushing me towards Landmark, right? He's into CrossFit. He's very, I hate using the word strict because all these words are just stories. So, like, he's very strict. Well, what's strict? It's restrictive. Like, it's nonsense. But we went when I was out to, this was like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I sat next to him at dinner. They take everyone out to dinner at this mentoring thing that I went to for network marketers, for networking online. We all went out to dinner, and people were like, "Oh, Matt, don't you want any bread?" He's like, "No, thanks." He's like, "But come on, Matt, have bread." He's like, "No, thank you, no." He's like, "Why aren't you eating?" And it was just Matt saying no, thank you. There's no stories, no excuses, no reasons why. And people were like, "Oh, don't you like bread?" If you've ever been on a diet before, and people are like, "Well, why aren't you eating this? Are you sick? Don't you want to eat me?" Kind of like they take it kind of personal. And Matt's just like sitting there with a smile on his face, being like, "No, thanks." I'm like, "I'll eat it. Give me all the bread." But Matt was just like, "No, thanks," and didn't let the offer sway him one way or another, because Matt gave his word that he was going to eat this way, and he was going to exercise this way and live a life of what's possible. And he just said, "No, thank you." And that was it. It was the end of the thing. And I get it now. Like, a year later, I get it now. Because before, that also derailed me. That derailed me a long time ago. I was working with somebody who would make comments about, like, pizza or beer and you only live life once, and you let those little comments become stories that live in your head and live in your brain, and then before you know it, you're just like, yeah, who cares, live once. And for some people, they can do that. For me, it's self-destructive. When I break my word, it's self-destructive because it has a moral being on me. It destroys me from the inside out, and I just give up on everything, and it's no good. So there's my invitation. If you want to invent the possibility of working with me, of joining me, of building something amazing, whether it's your health, wealth, fitness, finance, all that good stuff, I'm running 110% here. I'm going all out. I'm going to go work out and do my workout right now. But I wanted to get on here. I'm going to be doing a mixture here going forward of just, sharing my life, sharing my impact, life from the basement. And my big mission and my big goal is, like, I feel like I got elevated out of the basement, but I still work in the basement. But the basement is, I really want to help elevate people out of the basement, because I know what it's like, right? To where you want to go and hide, to where you want to just say, I suck or I can't, what's the point? To where you blow off your friends, your family, you hide in food or alcohol. My mission moving forward is to help elevate people out of the basement into a life of what's possible. So if you want to invent the possible, if you want to join me on this journey of creating a possibility for yourself, for your family, to where you want to create the possibility of better health, better fitness, better whatever you want to invent for yourself. If you're looking for financial opportunities too, let me know. Love to work with you. It's game on. Since I've been back, I've dropped 3 pounds. Since I've been back, I haven't eaten at night. Since I've been back, I've been eating, 5 small meals a day. Since I've been back, I've been tracking my food, and I have not been given any kind of temptation, because it's my word. I gave my word. It sounds really simple, but it's also really easy to break your word. But when you break your word, and when you allow those stories to actually continue to fester and impact you, it destroys you. It destroys your relationships. It destroys your family. It makes life not fun. Well, that's my mission. That's my invitation. Let's go create what's possible. My name's Joe Petrie. Shoot me a message, and I'll talk to all of you soon. Bye, everyone.